Alright guys, so I know this isn't the normal type of product that I cover on the channel, but this was something that I thought would definitely be interesting enough to cover. And one of those reasons is this is a collaboration between the company MCHOSE. Now at first, I thought the company was MCHOSE, which that in itself I thought was just funny, but that's not what it is. It is MCHOSE. So anyway, they decided to collab with Unbox Therapy, who I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with and probably already have an opinion on.
Whoa, very different.
We're not really here to talk about Lou from Unbox Therapy. We're here to look at the keyboard collaboration. And so that keyboard is the UT98 mechanical keyboard. It is available on Kickstarter right now, and it has an early bird price of $99. It says it's normally going to retail for $139. And if you're not really familiar with MCHOSE, they are known for making some pretty impressive looking mechanical keyboards. And so this collab, which is labeled as being the world's first 98% compact silent mechanical keyboard, and this really is a very silent keyboard. Now the theme of the keyboard is using Unbox Therapy's basically like orange in the keys, which kind of match his logo. You can even see that the escape key has the ball cap, which kind of resembles what Lou would wear in his videos. And then even the space bar says MCHOSE Unbox Therapy. Outside of that, again, it's just kind of like a color theme more than anything else. Now they did include some extra keys and a space bar that doesn't have any kind of branding on it. And these other keys, one is to just have it say the escape key, but also the other keys are to, if you're going to use it on a Mac system, it has them that will mimic that instead of the Windows ones that are on it by default. Also in the box, they include a USB-A to USB-C cable. They do include a couple of extra switches. Now these are Silent Peach V3 switches rated at under 35 decibels for sound when typing. And then they also include a key removal tool to be able to remove the keys on here and be able to switch things out just using this simple little tool. Now another thing is they actually do offer another bundle on Kickstarter. So if you're a fan of Unbox Therapy, you can actually get this wrist pad and also this very large mouse pad that has the cap logo over here and then Unbox Therapy and MCHOSE logo to the right. With it being $50 more, I think you have to be a big fan of Unbox Therapy or Lou to be able to pay that. So my focus is mainly going to be on the keyboard itself. So the UT98 mechanical keyboard, which is what this one is, it can be connected in 3 different ways. So you can use the cable that we talked about earlier, you can connect it through Bluetooth, or my preferred method is actually using the little 2.4 gigahertz like USB dongle that's kind of hidden at the back part of the keyboard. Now you can switch between all 3 of these different connections. You just simply use the switch that's on the left-hand side of the keyboard, and it's pretty easy to just go from one to the next. Now there are different ways also to switch it between Windows, Mac, or Android, which is the 3 different ways that you can use it. And it shows you this really just kind of on this card. You can switch between all of those different things. The keyboard does have RGB lighting, which again, I know people either are going to love or hate this. I'm actually still a fan of it as long as it's subtle. And luckily it is here because you can change the lighting effect, you can change the colors, you can change the speed. All of it can be done actually on the keyboard itself. And they have some more customization options within the MCHOSE hub if you're going to use it on your desktop, or you can use an app to be able to do that. Now, if you are going to use it wirelessly, it says you can get up to 900 hours if you use it with the lighting off. You can get about 77 hours if you use it with the default lighting the way that it is on. And if you use it with the brightness cranked up, you can get about 42 hours total. So the battery life is definitely just going to depend on how you choose to use the lighting. Now, with the keyboard being a 98% form factor, it does have enough room over here to be able to have the number keypad, which I am a huge fan of. And also between the regular keys and the number keypad, it has a volume wheel. It also has like this light sensor above it, but I really like how smooth it is to just change the volume right here from the keyboard itself. And again, you can see the lighting here. I have it where it's just kind of changing. It just kind of as it goes. You can have it just one color. You can change the color. You can do all kind of things within the lighting if you want to go through and do that. Now, if you do want this to be angled up a little bit, the bottom of the keyboard does have little legs that you can pop out here and kind of have it more at an angle, which is normally how I like to use it, but just for the video's sake so that you can see it a little bit flatter, I just chose to leave it down. So as you can tell, it's a pretty clean looking keyboard. Now there are a bunch of different, again, like I said earlier, some custom key functions that you can do to change the lighting or change the mode that you're using it in. There's also some different media controls if you're going to use it that way, which you'll just go through the instruction manual to see all of that. This is kind of, I don't want to say standard, but this is something that a lot of keyboard companies do. And so to wrap the video up, and my overall opinion on this keyboard is, yeah, I'm a big fan of the keyboard. I love the mechanical keys. I love the fact that it is pretty much completely silent. Now I did have some accidental touches when I first started using it coming from the MX keys from Logitech because it was a flat profile. So I was used to kind of just moving my hands more evenly. So I did have some accidental touches by hitting the keys because in my opinion, I think they are pretty sensitive. And then really the only other issue I had is the color scheme. Now I do think if you're using it in dim lighting, it is kind of hard to see the black text on the gray keys. But I also noticed on the Kickstarter page that the keyboard is going to be available in black and white. So this is more subtle, it's more clean looking, and with the white text on the black keys and the black text on the white keys, it's a lot easier to see. So personally, I would recommend that one. But again, if you're a fan of Unbox Therapy or you just like this color theme in general, that would be the reason to go with this one. And honestly, the $50 upgrade to get the wrist pad and the mouse pad, I think you kind of have to be a big fan of Unbox Therapy to spend the $50 extra just for these, because you can go on Amazon and just get some basically similar, just clean looking ones that don't have any kind of branding. And you still would probably save quite a bit of money. So yeah, I do recommend the keyboard. I've actually really enjoyed it, and I do plan on keeping it and having it just replace the MX Keys keyboard that I have used for, a few years now. But guys, that wraps up my video on the MCHOSE Unbox Therapy UT98 mechanical keyboard. Like I said, it is a Kickstarter funded project, and that is always hit or miss. Now, MCHOSE is a big name company, so I don't expect this to not make, which it's already made, and I don't expect them to not, follow through with this. But I will have all of this linked in the description if you do want to check it out. But thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.